Hey guys, it's Devin with INKED Mag. I'm here with Quicken.
Hey everyone.
And we're gonna talk about her YouTube channel and her tattoos. So what made you want to start your YouTube channel?
So starting my YouTube channel, it's never like a great answer. A couple years ago, I got scarification on my ribs and I was keeping track of it. I was filming it every day on like an iPod Touch, and when I ran out of memory on my iPod, there's a thing to like send it to YouTube. My YouTube channel happened completely on accident just because I ran out of memory on my iPod. People started watching them and asking for more. It wasn't until like 2 years later that I got a notification from YouTube that they asked me to be a YouTube partner. I was like, for what?
What were some of the first few videos that you started creating? What were people asking you right off the bat?
So the first couple videos I ever made were all body modification videos. Not too much about tattoos. Like I had my earlobes cut and the scarification. I think I do like a diary of like 7 days healing. I just felt like there wasn't a huge index for that information. So I was like, I'll use myself as a lab rat. I'll document it. I'll see how it goes.
So something that a lot of people know you for is your tattoo chat.
Hey everybody, it is Quicken and welcome back to Tattoo Talk Tuesday.
So Tattoo Talk Tuesday kind of just turned into an open forum for discussions. I mean, I feel like as a tattooed person, I'll get questions like on the street, questions from friends. If I post something on Instagram, I'll generally get a question. Tattoo Talk Tuesday became like an index for the questions that happen every day.
So what made you want to start your tattoo tag?
So the Tattoo Collectors tag, it kind of started because like on my channel, I like call myself a tattoo collector. That way, no one thinks I'm like a tattoo artist or something. I'm like, oh, I'm a tattoo collector. This is my experience. I thought it would be really cool to talk about being a tattoo collector because I think people, they're either familiar with that term or they're not. And then I feel like when I put it out there, a lot of the people who tried the tag out, they were like, yeah, I am a tattoo collector. It was interesting because some people fully tattooed were like, I don't consider myself that.
So recently on your channel, you've had a few guests, whether they're YouTubers, models, or just people that you know in Philly. What's that been like?
It's always really cool. I mean, my series kind of started as a way to share the conversations that I honestly hold with people. And having my friends and stuff on the channel, I like to bring, almost like allow people to witness these conversations that actually do happen. And if they're in my living room, if we're like at a park, I mean, I'm engaged and it's a lot of fun and it's cool to bring perspective. Yeah. Like my friends will always say something I never thought of.
Do you think that your YouTube channel has inspired you to get more tattoos?
It definitely has, and I tried to actually tone that down. For a while I was like, no tattoos for the sake of a video. So there is that. Like I have a video about Friday the 13th tattoos and I got that tattoo for the video. And then last year at Tattoo Convention, I was invited to come and I got tattoos there. Oh, watch out, oh my God.
Oh my God, I just got a kiss from a squirrel.
Did you really feel it?
Yes.
He just sneezed. You're ruining my interview.
So you want to go up to the office for a bit?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go. So when did you start getting tattooed?
So my first tattoo I got when I was 16 with parental consent, but I've actually had it removed, so my first tattoo doesn't exist anymore.
What'd you get after that? Where did you go from there?
I think after I was 16, the next tattoo I got, I was 18, and I was still in this mindset that I wanted my tattoos to be hidden. So I actually got a tattoo on my hip that no one ever sees. And that was like my first big tattoo and my first like color tattoo, first real tattoo.
When did you decide I'm gonna get a sleeve?
It wasn't for a few years after that. I actually had a lot of tattoo regret after I got the tattoo on my hip. I kind of thought like, I don't know if this is really what I want to do. And that's not something I usually tell people. There was like between 18 and 19, I didn't get any tattoos. I was like pretty unsure. I think going big at first gave me time to like freak out. And then after that, I must have been like, towards the end of being 19, I got the tattoo on my arm, and it's pretty big, and I feel like from there I was like, well, now I'm tattooed.
What kind of imagery would you say traditional stuff reminds you of? Like, what kind of emotion does it give you?
I always think of like romance. I don't know if it's like sailor tattoos and imagining like the sailor kissing the woman. I just think like when I was researching tattoos and I was learning about like different tattoos that sailors would get, there was always that idea of like the greater life. And if it's, you know, the anchor or the tattoo of the nurse to keep you well, like I always thought that romance or like that reaching for something better is kind of just like what always drew me into traditional.
What was the most painful spot that you got tattooed?
So definitely the most painful tattoo I've ever had to date was my back.
Really?
It's like I have a full back tattoo and it's full color from top to like the small of my back. And I mean, that tattoo was just pounded in there. And I feel like you're laying down, you're vulnerable, you don't have the ability to like have that conversation with your tattoo artist. So the only thing you're concentrating on is like where it is on your back that's like happening. And even like the imagery, I'm like, it feels like this. Because it's just, ooh.
How many sessions did you have for that one?
I think I had about 6 sessions, but like one of them I like majorly punked out on, so that's why I feel like it went on forever. I thought eating from like a fruit cart would be a good idea. I was like, oh man, I'm going to the city, I'll have a little fruit. And then by the time I got to New York, I was like, they poisoned me. Oh, no. I got to the shop and I was like, meh, 1 hour.
What tattoo would you say you get recognized for the most?
I think I have a tattoo, this crybaby tattoo. I actually got this in beauty school because I thought that beauty school would be easy, and it was not. So I kind of got that tattoo to be like, yo, be brave. You have to just go to school. If you have to cry it out, do it. Like, that's who you are and you can't change that. Don't change it. Just go to school though. Don't drop out. Just cry there. So the tattoo artist, Mike Ski, he's out of Philadelphia. He's amazing at like all type tattoos, like typography. He did my Only Skin tattoo. I hit him up and I was like, I have this concept. I want a crybaby tattoo. I want to own it. There's a performer, Melanie Martinez. She brands herself as a crybaby. So I think like her fandom was so strong, and then my fandom, little baby, but still on the internet. I think when they collided, it just became a tattoo that like just got copied so many times. And like on Etsy, it's like on a shirt and stuff. And I know that it's like a popular concept, but sometimes I see it line for line. I'm like, shoot. It's at a point where I just like I ask people like, don't even tag me in it. I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
I'd rather just like go to sleep.
Tattoo copying is a crazy thing, especially for YouTubers. I know that other YouTubers have had their work copied.
Yeah, majorly. Sometimes I'm lucky, I'm like, oh, a little jammer on the ankle, at least it wasn't my chest tattoo.
Yeah.
Still, sometimes late at night though, I'm like, oh.
Has being in the public eye changed the way that you publish your tattoos on social media?
Definitely, it has. I used to get a lot of enjoyment from like posting that close up or asking my tattoo artist to send me like their good photo so I could post it, you know, put the word out, be like, this is my favorite person and they gave me this tattoo. I'm proud of it, I paid for it, I enjoyed it, I endured it. Now, you know, it's a little more difficult to do stuff like that because, you know, if you post that like straight up photo, that it's gonna go somewhere. So now I kind of am in a routine where I don't photograph like my tattoos. And if I'm going to post a tattooed photo, it's not very clear. It's kind of like, I'm doing something and I'm tattooed, but it's not like, look at this tattoo.
I think it helps that you also have a lot of tattoos around them too.
That does.
So like, if you're taking a picture of one tattoo, it's like you're like taking one of all of them. Mm-hmm. One of them that's like catching my eye right now is that little 11 Cupid or
yes.
Cupid.
I'm so lucky. I got this tattoo last year. Like right after Stranger Things came out, I like rallied hard. I was like, that's my favorite show. And then they announced season 2 and I was like, if it's bad, I already got the tattoo. And then it was amazing, so I was like, phew.
So this is something we actually haven't talked about. What does Quicken mean?
So Quicken is an acronym. It stands for Quiet Cool Kid, no doubt. And in high school, that was like my Zanga screen name. And I think I just had this idea, like I was in high school, I wasn't really like in a certain group of people, but I liked going to school, I liked being in class. Like I had perfect attendance in high school. I wasn't like rebelling against knowledge, I just like actually didn't fit in. So being a quiet cool kid was this idea that like I could be present and I could be in class or I could sit at your cafeteria table and kind of just absorb everything, but didn't bring anything back to it. This year I actually did get a Q tattoo for Quickened, my YouTube channel. And I always had this idea that I was like, oh, my YouTube channel, that's like private. Like I don't really talk about it, like humble to the point where I'm like, I don't know, I'm like handicapped by it. I'm like, oh, don't talk about my YouTube channel. Don't tell that boy. So this summer, I feel like I went through like a lot of growing and I tried to embrace who I was, which I feel like is one of the hardest things. So I decided to get a Q tattoo, kind of just for like self-growth and self-awareness, but also like celebration of self and my channel. And it can be funny, and even like when I came back to Philly with the Q tattoo, someone was like, what is that? And already I was like, oh no, the thing I do, don't talk about it. But I feel like now when I can't talk about it, because I'm trying to change who I am, at least the tattoo can speak for me.
How did you go from the quiet cool kid to talking to thousands of people online?
The transition was effortless because I'm still in my bedroom or I'm still in my living room by myself. When my friends are nice enough to come and interview with me, we're together, but it's kind of like I can see that number online, but I can't digest it. I don't know what 100,000 people look like. So I can film and just talk to my reflection in my little lens and still feel exactly like I did in high school.